Guys, this is your WWE, and these are top 10 superstars who need to be pushed. So let's just get right into it. So firstly, we got one that you might not all agree with, and I just think that Tyler Breeze needs to be pushed. If you look at the work he's done in NXT and some of the stuff on the main roster he's done, he's such a good wrestler, and he had a massive fan base in NXT. He could be really popular if he turned face, and so I just think he needs to be pushed. And secondly, we've got Luke Harper. I don't think Luke Harper gets nearly enough credit as he deserves for the work he does. He's a lot better than Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan in the Wyatt family, and for a man his size, he can do incredible stuff. He does suicide dives, and he's about 250 pounds. It's insane. He's basically the only person who keeps the Wyatt family's matches actually being decent, and so he just needs to be pushed. I mean, the Wyatt family don't really need him, do they? They could just have Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman as the henchmen and Bray Wyatt as the leader. I think Luke Harper could leave and have a great singles career by himself. I mean, he's already won the Intercontinental title before, so why not go further? And next we've got the only women's wrestler on the list, and it's Becky Lynch. Now, since she's debuted on the main roster about a year ago, in my opinion, she's actually been disrespected. Sasha Banks has been treated like a massive deal. She hasn't lost clean at all yet. Charlotte's been the women's champion for the whole year, but Becky Lynch, arguably the best out of the three of them, has not been given any opportunities. She's just had one women's title shot at the Royal Rumble, and that was it, and she lost by Ric Flair interfering. And I think she deserves a lot better than she gets, so I think she just needs to be pushed. Now here's another one that might cause a bit of controversy. Alberto Del Rio. Now he's been pretty stale since he's returned back at Hell in a Cell, but I think there's a lot left in him. He said recently that he thinks he's got 5 years left of wrestling in him, and I think what he needs is a push and a face turn. Because back when he was a face, he was really popular, and the fans still do love him and respect him, because, well, he's been the former world champion, and he's a great wrestler. All he needs is a bit of a push and a face turn. Say we had heel champion Reigns, and then babyface Del Rio challenging him. That could be great for Del Rio, and I think he really deserves it. Yep, next up we've got Big E, formerly known as Big E Langston, former NXT champion. Now, in my opinion, he's the best wrestler out of all of the New Day. That spear he does through the ropes is just incredible, and his work rate's amazing. Those belly-to-belly suplexes he does in the ring, that splash he does. I mean, his moves are so good, and he really, if the New Day ever do break up, then he should definitely be pushed, maybe even into world title contention. Is that a bit too far? I don't know, but he definitely deserves a push. And now we've got something that I'm sure you'll all agree with. It's Apollo Crews. Now, he's technically incredible. I mean, you're gonna see he does a standing moonsault as a signature move. He's so good in the ring. He just needs to show a bit of personality. Well, creative need to let him show personality, and he can get a massive push. I mean, people tipped him to be a multi-time world champion, but since he's debuted on the main roster, he's feuded with Sheamus and the Social Outcasts. He's not going to get anywhere by doing that. He needs a push, he needs a proper feud with, a proper heel. Maybe he could feud with Seth Rollins or something. It would be amazing. Think of those matches, Apollo Crews versus Seth Rollins. It would be amazing. I mean, he deserves so much more. He's just been forgotten since he's been on the main roster. He's been an afterthought, and that needs to change. He needs a big push. Now next we've got Bray Wyatt. Now, I think the last match, as of recording this, that the Wyatt family have won on pay-per-view was at TLC. That's 6 months ago, and he's meant to be one of the main players in the whole roster. I mean, he just doesn't get enough wins. He needs a big push. He needs to be in the main event scene. He hasn't been in world title contention in ages. He didn't even have a match at WrestleMania. He just had a confrontation with The Rock, which was awesome. But he needs a big match, a high profile match. I mean, he lost at Fastlane to Kane, Big Show and Ryback. And he lost to Survivor Series to Kane and The Undertaker, two people who are really old. He just doesn't get near enough direction from creative. It's as if they don't want him to be a good character and succeed, and he definitely needs a massive push. Now, I also think Kalisto needs to be pushed. Now, I'm a big Kalisto fan. I love his moveset, but Obviously, his US title run was pretty rubbish, to be honest, but that wasn't his fault. He was just booked awfully. He was booked in like 18 matches with Alberto Del Rio, and they played hot potato with the title. Then he was put on the kickoff show with Ryback, and he got some amazing matches out of Ryback as well, so respect to him. But everyone was sort of bored of him by the end of his title run. And I think he needs a push, but not necessarily with the title. I think he just needs a solid feud with an upper mid-card heel like Rusev. He already had a feud with Rusev. Sheamus, yeah. Kalisto versus Sheamus. Yeah, but push Kalisto, yeah. Now the next one, I think I'm pretty much the third person to ever say this. I don't think anyone's ever asked to push Cesaro at all, because management do such a good job with him. They treat him like a world champion, you know? No, but seriously, Cesaro, what's he doing at the moment? I mean, he came back and was in the Intercontinental title picture for about 2 months, then he was in the Money in the Bank match, but now he's just got nothing to do. He hasn't been put into any proper feud like he was with Kevin Owens at SummerSlam last year. I mean, it's as if they just don't know what to do with him. I mean, obviously they need to push him, but how could they do that? Heel turn? Not really, he's too popular for that. I mean, creative need to come up with something soon. I think maybe he could challenge Rusev for the US title, that's certainly an option, but wherever it is, they need to find something for him to do, because he's such a good wrestler and deserves so much more than he gets. And finally on this list, the wrestler that needs to be pushed the most, in my opinion, it is Neville. Now, Neville debuted on the main roster the night after WrestleMania. He had a feud with Stardust, he had a feud with King Barrett, he had a feud with Bo Dallas. And that's basically it. I mean, what has he done? Nothing. But he's still probably the best wrestler in the whole company. I mean, his finisher is an inverted moonsault, goodness sake. Like, why would you not push him? Back in NXT, he was before Balor beat it, he was the longest reigning NXT champion. And he was treated down in NXT as equals to Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor. But now, like, Kevin Owens has won 2 titles. Sami Zayn has been in like big matches and stuff. Finn Balor, when he debuts, is going to be treated like absolute gold dust. Not Goldust the wrestler, like, because he's not good. Goldust is invaluable stuff. But you know what I mean? Neville, he's on that level, but he just gets treated like absolute nothing. He needs, when he returns from injury, which he was on the SmackDown tapings last night, so that's a good thing. When he returns from injury, I want him to have a massive push. I want him to be challenging for the Intercontinental title, the World title. That may be a bit far, but when he first debuted, he had incredible matches with John Cena and Seth Rollins. I mean, what more can he do? I mean, he took Seth Rollins to his limits twice, I think, and what did he get out of it? Nothing. So, at the end of the day, Neville, they just need... He's got the tools in the ring, they just need to let him do what he does, put him into a proper feud, give him a title, and let him run with it. I'm sorry that last one was a bit of a rant, but I'm just a massive Neville fan, and I don't like the way that he's treated. But no, they are the top 10 superstars who I think need to be pushed. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.